there seems to be a little bit of a social media tit for tat between possibly the Waleses and the Sussexes. Meghan launched her Instagram page, well, officially kind of on January the 1st, was it, when she was riding in the sand? And she's many videos in the last couple of weeks, particularly from Invictus. But William and Catherine seem to be doing a lot more. We saw this week the sketches that the princes, that are drawn and they put them on. We've seen videos of Catherine on a school bus. We've seen William with a social media influencer, a TikTok star just a couple of weeks ago. And on Valentine's Day, we had William and Catherine looking cosy for Valentine's a little heart, and then Harry and Meghan sharing a kiss on Meghan's Instagram page. Is there a subtle war going on between them online?
Well, you could put the kiss down to the fact they're 8 hours behind us in California, so they probably were going to do it anyway. It could be, but no, I think that's just it's flim-flam, really. I mean, social media. Look at it one day, it's gone the next, you know, and that's how I feel about it, you know. And the fact, you know, George's drawings weren't very good. I didn't think he didn't look like he's going to have an art career in front of him anyway.
Well, they wouldn't tell us who had drawn what. We had to work it out ourselves.
There's one that's definitely much better than the others, which I suppose you'd assume is George because he's older, but it did sort of feel, I could imagine it being Charlotte. I don't know, you can't be certain really, can you? But I think there was 100% definitely a massive rivalry between the Sussexes and the Waleses, dating back to when they were sharing a private office at Kensington Palace. And this sort of thing, you would absolutely cut and dry say 100% massive rivalry. They would want to be competing and outdoing each other. So there probably is a bit of that. I mean, it's hard to move past that. I'm sure that there is an instinct to want to outdo the other couple, whether it's the Waleses or the Sussexes. I also think with Meghan, perhaps there is like the pressure on her to make her project successful may mean that actually that is what's at the forefront of her mind, that actually she's fighting to get back into a space that she'd largely given up. And it's quite interesting that Instagram is her social media channel because most of her fans are on Twitter. You know, that is the real core of where the Sussex squad operate. And Meghan hasn't chosen to make Twitter her space. She's chosen Instagram, which shows a slight bit of disconnect between her and her fan base. So
really interesting point, that actually. Sorry, carry on. But
no, I mean it is. She is trying to exist. Instagram is great for celebrities, and celebrities love it. It gives them a slightly more positive space in which they can just, you know, their post is king. Like that is the key thing about Instagram. You post the picture, anybody who comments underneath it is subordinate to your original post. Whereas on Twitter, no one post has priority over another. Your entry into the discussion can be any post in a thread. You might come in at post number 27 because somebody you follow is throwing mud at Meghan. Whereas on Instagram, your entry is always the celebrity's post. So that's probably why she's done it. But it reflects the fact that she is now fighting to get into a very competitive space where all the influencers live, all the influencers are fighting for audience. And actually, you know, she would be well advised to forget any competition with Kate and William because the people she's going to be competing in are the other celebrities who are all also trying to sell their products too. So that's going to be where the real competition.
Well, here we are again. Another day, another royal rift dominating headlines. And this time we're back to the age-old rivalry narrative. Meghan versus Kate, Harry versus William, Sussexes versus the firm. According to Jack Royston, the Newsweek royal correspondent, this isn't just about Meghan and Kate, it's about the brothers too. Enter Catherine, Princess of Wales, and Meghan, Duchess of Sussex. Two women who, despite their different backgrounds, found themselves at the centre of this grand institution. Two women bound by marriage into the same family, their every move scrutinised, their every gesture analysed by a global audience. Thrust onto the world stage, their lives, once private, now a public narrative of duty, love, and the quest for personal identity within the confines of royalty. Their journeys began so differently. Kate Middleton, a British commoner, and Meghan Markle, an American actress, each brought their unique perspectives to the royal family. Kate Middleton, the daughter of entrepreneurs, met Prince William at university. Their relationship blossomed in the public eye, a love story that seemed to be lifted straight from the pages of a romance novel. Meghan Markle, an American actress, already a divorcee, brought a different energy. Her career in Hollywood and her outspoken nature set her apart from the traditional image of a royal bride. Her relationship with Prince Harry, a whirlwind romance, their love story filled with passion and spontaneity, broke the mold of royal courtships. Their marriage, a celebration of diversity and change. It symbolized a new era for the monarchy, one that embraced inclusivity and modernity. Jack Royston, Newsweek royal correspondent, noted the stark contrast. He observed how their different backgrounds and approaches to royal life highlighted the evolving nature of the monarchy. Let's not pretend Meghan and Kate were ever meant to be besties. Their worlds were too different, their approaches too opposite. Meghan, a self-made woman who built her own career, entered the royal fold with fresh ideas. Kate, on the other hand, spent years preparing to be the perfect queen-in-waiting, silent, poised, and non-controversial. One thrives on independence, the other on tradition. They were never on the same path. But what's really amusing is that, despite their best efforts, the palace keeps proving they need Meghan and Harry. The relationship between William and Harry, once unbreakable, became strained over time. The bond they shared as children growing up in the public eye began to fray as they took on different roles within the royal family. William, the heir, shouldered the weight of expectation. As the future king, he was groomed for leadership, his every move scrutinized by the public and the media. The pressure to uphold tradition and duty was immense. Harry, the spare, chafed under the constraints of royal life. He struggled to find his own path, often feeling overshadowed by his older brother. The expectations placed upon him were different, yet no less burdensome. Their wives, inevitably drawn into the fray, faced their own challenges. Meghan and Kate, each with their unique backgrounds and personalities, were often pitted against each other by the media, adding fuel to the fire. The competition between the brothers, always simmering beneath the surface, intensified. Their differing approaches to royal duties and public life created a rift that seemed insurmountable. Media outlets, hungry for a story, fueled the flames. Every difference scrutinized, every perceived slight magnified. The relentless coverage only deepened the divide, making reconciliation seem ever more distant. The arrival of children added another layer of complexity. Parenthood brought new responsibilities and joys, but also new pressures and comparisons. George, Charlotte and Louis for William and Kate. Their upbringing, steeped in royal tradition, was closely watched by the public. Archie and Lilibet for Harry and Meghan. Their parents' decision to step back from royal duties meant a different kind of upbringing, away from the constant glare of the media. Their upbringings, a study in contrasts. The paths they chose for their families reflected their own struggles and aspirations, highlighting the deepening divide between the once inseparable brothers. The tension became too much. In a move that shocked the world, Harry and Meghan stepped back from royal duties. They sought refuge across the Atlantic in California, a life free from the constraints of tradition, a chance to forge their own path. Kate, meanwhile, embraced her role with grace. She became a symbol of stability, a patron of the arts, a champion of children's charities. Her commitment to duty never wavered. Two continents, two very different lives. The distance only seemed to amplify their differences. Section 4. The glare of the spotlight. Meghan, never one to shy away from the spotlight, thrived in the world of entertainment, a Netflix deal, speaking engagements. Her voice amplified, reaching a global audience. Kate, bound by royal protocol, maintained a more reserved presence. Her appearances, carefully orchestrated, her words, measured and diplomatic. The contrast was stark. Meghan, the modern woman using her platform to advocate for change. Kate, the dutiful royal upholding tradition. Section 5. A modern royal couple. Harry and Meghan, free from the constraints of the monarchy, redefined what it meant to be royal. They embraced their roles as global citizens. They spoke out against injustice. They used their platform to promote compassion and understanding. Their approach resonated with a younger generation. Here were royals who were relatable, who understood the challenges of the modern world. Section 6. The Palace Walls. Back in the UK, the monarchy seemed increasingly antiquated in comparison to modern institutions. The institution, slow to adapt, struggled to connect with a rapidly changing world. The palace walls, once a symbol of strength and stability, now felt increasingly suffocating. The Queen, a beacon of constancy and tradition, remained above the fray. But her advancing years raised questions about the uncertain future of the monarchy. Section 7. Beyond rivalry. The so-called rivalry between Kate and Meghan, perhaps a media creation all along. The tabloids and gossip columns thrived on the narrative of a feud, painting a picture of discord and competition. Two women thrust into extraordinary circumstances. Both Kate and Meghan found themselves in the spotlight, their every move scrutinized by the public and the press, each navigating their roles in their own way. Kate, with her poised and traditional approach, and Meghan, with her modern and outspoken demeanor, brought different energies to the royal family. The real competition, if there ever was one, ended when Harry and Meghan stepped away. Their decision to step back from royal duties marked a significant shift in the dynamics of the family. They chose a different path. Moving to California, Harry and Meghan sought a life away from the royal spotlight, focusing on their own projects and causes. A life defined by purpose and authenticity. Their work now centers around mental health, social justice, and other philanthropic efforts, reflecting their personal values. The monarchy will endure, as it always has. Despite the changes and challenges, the institution remains a symbol of continuity and tradition. But the future remains unwritten. The next chapters of the royal family's story are yet to be told, with new generations bringing their own perspectives and priorities. Perhaps in time, the stories of these two women will be seen not as rivalry, but as evolution. Their journeys reflect broader societal changes and the evolving role of the monarchy.